Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been almost 4 months since I've posted a video. It's been a very long time, and I feel guilty because I've put so much out there, so much private and personal things out there, and like all of a sudden I kind of like just closed myself off, not only to you guys but to my family, and it has been a very hard 4 months that I haven't been on YouTube. It's been really hard. And I've been debating whether to talk about this, but I was actually bakeracted a couple weeks ago. And I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video just because I don't know if I want to put that out there. You know, being bakeracted is a little bit, it's pretty serious, and when I'm applying to jobs and things, I don't want them to find this video and think of me as like not stable. But I feel like I've shared so much of my life, and I've already shared a lot about my past depression and how antidepressants made me crazier, and I've talked about that on my YouTube channel, so I feel like I'm comfortable to share this story and experience. But for the past 4 months, I have been very depressed, and I have been feeling just not good. Last year was a pretty okay year. You know, I started transitioning and everything has been really well the past, last year. I don't know why when January came of this year, it's just, I feel like my life just became so hard, and oh God, I started feeling like I wanted to hurt myself. Like, oh my God, I'm like outside in the backyard, and I hope like the neighbors don't hear me. That would be so embarrassing. But since January, I've been feeling like I've been wanting to harm myself, and it's been so bad, and I feel like no one should ever live that way. It's been hard, and I don't want to get too into it because obviously I don't want to get demonetized, as well as I don't want to put too much out there at the same time. But I have been feeling really depressed for 4 months, and suicidal thoughts has come again in my mind. I haven't had suicidal thoughts in a very long time, and out of nowhere it kind of just came back, and I have just been feeling really bad. And a lot of my friends and a lot of my family have been telling me to get bakeracted because I've been going to therapy and things like that, and antidepressants never really worked for me, nor has therapy. So I didn't really know what to do. I felt like I was stuck, and I had people telling me to go bakeract or, go to the hospital and they're gonna help you immediately, and everything kind of sounded good at the moment until I actually was bakeracted, and I've had the worst experience of my life. Literally of my life. It was the worst, scariest experience ever. So a couple weeks ago, I was feeling like I wanted to harm myself, and my suicidal thoughts were going in my head, and I didn't really know where to go to. So I decided right then and there to go admit myself in the hospital and tell them that I was feeling suicidal. And that's what I did. And I really did think that I was gonna get help, like immediate help. And when I admitted myself to the hospital, I really did think like it was gonna go well. A lot of they put me into this room and they asked me like 100 questions. They asked me so many questions and all of that stuff. And then pretty much they removed everything from the room, like everything from the room. They removed the TV. They took all of my stuff away. All my jewelry. They took my phone away. They took literally everything from the room away, which makes sense. And then they made one of the nurses watch me like 24/7. So he was like watching me. And there was a social worker coming in and out talking to me of how he felt and things like that. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna get help. Like I'm gonna get treated, I'm gonna get help, and I'm gonna be okay. And everything was going fine. And then the hospital that I went to, they didn't have a psychiatrist on hand, so they had to send me to another hospital where they do have a psychiatrist. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever, it's fine. So they put me in an ambulance car, which I thought was like really, really extra. Like, you know, it was like a little bit extra, but whatever. They pretty much like sent me to this nut house. It was so scary. It was the scariest thing I've ever went into in my life. So I went from like this really beautiful hospital, like everyone taking care of me, like everything was fine, to like this literal nut house. And when I went in, it was just like homeless people. It smelled like pee, like poop. The odor of that room. It was one huge room full of like crazy people, honestly. There was this girl who was schizophrenic and she was screaming, and I had like, my anxiety was so bad and I started crying immediately. I entered that room. It was a huge room with like schizophrenic people, you know, drug addicts, homeless people, very, very, very scary people. And I am like this 19-year-old trans girl, and I just felt so scared. I was so scared. And I immediately started crying. The smell of that room was disgusting. It smelled like vomit. It smelled like pee. It smelled like poop. It was disgusting. And I immediately was like, what did I get myself into? Like, this is the scariest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. And I immediately tried to talk to every nurse that was there, and all the nurses pretty much told me the same thing, like, shut up and sit down because they can't do anything about it. And pretty much when you bakeract, you pretty much like sell yourself to the government or whatever. Like, you're pretty much like property, and they pretty much own you, and you can't really do much about it. You can't get out of there. You're stuck there until the psychiatrist sees you. So I was crying because I was really, really scared. Like, I'm like this 19-year-old trans girl, and there were like 35-year-old like drug addicts, schizophrenic men, and they just look really, really scary. And there's nothing wrong with being schizophrenic or being a drug addict, but for me, like, I came into the hospital with like these suicidal thoughts. I had depression, I had anxiety. To be put in that room was just like, it didn't make me feel comfortable. So I tried to like talk to every nurse, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable. I feel scared. I feel like someone's gonna rape me. I feel like someone's gonna attack me. What if someone here is not okay with trans people? What if they like, and they were like, just shut up and like sit down. Like, they were not helpful. I swear to God, I felt like I was gonna get a panic attack. It's not even like I felt like I was gonna get a panic attack. I did get a panic attack, and no one was helping me. I like felt like I needed like a Valium or a Xanax because I was literally like shaking, crying. It was so bad, and like no one was helping me, and I was alone. I didn't have my phone. I couldn't contact my parents, none of my friends, my boyfriend. Like, I couldn't contact anyone, and it was so scary, like so goddamn scary. So I was crying for like 2 hours because I have to see a psychiatrist, and when you see the psychiatrist, they ask you a lot of questions, and they pretty much decide whether to keep you there until you're okay, or they decide to like, you know, release you if they think that you're okay. So it was a really, really busy day. And a psychiatrist, it was going to take like 5 hours to see him. So I was like, oh my God. But so 2 hours, I was like crying in the first 2 hours. The nurses were not helpful. It was just like a very scary environment. They didn't even let me go to the bathroom, which was like, it doesn't even make sense, because what if I had to poop? Like, what the heck? And that's why it probably smelled like pee and poop and vomit, because they don't even let you go to the bathroom. So 2 hours passed, and I kind of like started calming myself down, and I was like, okay, Christina, you need to act normal to get out of here, because I just wasn't feeling safe. Which sucks, because I went to the hospital wanting to get help, and like I really, really, really did want to get help, and it just sucked that now my main goal was to get out of there. So I was like, okay, I have to act normal. I have to stop crying. I have to act like it was a false alarm, because I need to get out of here. So I stopped crying. I was normal. I was like chill. I was like meditating. And then the nurses started saying that I was like normal. And because when I was crying, they probably thought I was like this schizophrenic, druggy, paranoid bitch. You know what I mean? So now that I was like calming myself down, like the nurses are like, oh, like this person's normal. You know what I mean? Like she's normal. So the nurses started having a conversation with me, and they were all like, it's okay, you're gonna be fine. So like when I stopped acting crazy, because I was like crying for a long time, the nurses were like not helping me. But like once I like relaxed and calmed myself, that's when, oh my god, there's a lot of noise, I'm sorry, and I hope you guys can hear me, but I'm outside because I'm not home, but I really wanted to film this. So that's the nurses started talking to me, and I felt a little bit better, but I still wanted to get out of there because it was just very, very scary. There was like this girl, this schizophrenic girl screaming, and like this, oh my god, like and this is like still to me like very triggering, and I still get like a little bit of PTSD thinking about this. I went in there for suicidal thoughts and because I felt like I was going to harm myself, but literally there was this guy who was literally hitting himself. Like literally hitting himself with his fist, hitting himself in front of my eyes. It was the scariest thing to, I just wasn't prepared to see that. And I saw it and it was really, really scary. There was like schizophrenic and people hitting themselves. It's just a very scary environment. So then, 3 more hours passed and then the psychiatrist called me and I tried to act like I was okay because I needed to get out of there. I needed to get out of there. These people have treated me so bad. The nurses are so bad. The facility was in poor condition. It was terrible. And I'm gonna like say the name of the hospital because like I feel like I'm going to complain and like send a complaint because it was just a really, really bad experience. And I'm talking about Jackson Memorial Hospital in downtown. I live in Miami and it's Jackson Memorial Hospital in downtown. Do not recommend going there. It's literally so bad and the people who work there are awful. Oh my god, when I went in and I started crying, one of the nurses was laughing at my face. Like no, I'm literally having a panic attack. I got admitted because I was depressed and having suicidal thoughts, and literally the nurse was like making fun of me, laughing right in my face. So the psychiatrist called me and I tried to act normal and civil and like it was a false alarm. And he asked me a lot of questions. Like it was probably like 30 minutes of questions. And yeah, like I said, I tried to like lie myself to get out of there. And then he was like, okay, Christina, I want you to see another psychiatrist. I want you to see a therapist, but you are free to go. So I left and my parents picked me up and it was like this whole emotional thing because I just wasn't prepared to see that and experience that. So I have been going to therapy. I have been taking antidepressants. The antidepressants hasn't really been doing any good, but the therapy has, and I can gladly say that I'm feeling so much better, like so much better. I'd say 2 months ago I was like at my worst, but right now I feel so good. I feel so motivated. I'm starting school again, and that is like one of the things that I'm so happy about. My boyfriend is amazing and I'm so happy and glad that I have him in my life. My family has been so supportive and has been there for me, and I feel like that experience was so bad, but I feel like it was a good thing to have had that experience because first of all, I'm majoring in psychology, so oddly enough, so that's like a little bit weird, but yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit stronger. I feel like I still have a little bit of PTSD. I still get like shaky and like emotional when I think about it and when I talk about it because it was just such a bad experience. But yeah, that's pretty much why I have been gone from YouTube for like 4 months, just because my mental health has not been the best and I really needed to work on myself. And I didn't want to make like half-assed YouTube videos. Like I want to make good YouTube videos for you guys. And I know the quality in this video might not be the best and I apologize. But yes, so I'm just happy right now and I'm glad to say that I'm feeling so much better. And I feel so motivated, and right now I got ready. I'm gonna go on a date with my boyfriend soon and I feel just really, really, really good. And if you guys ever feel like you're alone or depressed, don't feel like you're alone. And there are so many people who love you. And go to therapy. There's so much things that you can do to get help. And I have felt for the longest time that like I was kind of like stuck and there wasn't anything I can do about it. But I'm going to therapy now. I'm being very open to my family and everything has just been going smooth. But I just wanted to make this video to share this experience and share why I have been so absent in my YouTube career. And I have, like, my YouTube has been blowing up, and I'm so grateful for each and one of you, everyone that subscribes, that likes, that leaves comments. Like, it means a lot to me. And I know I've seen comments like, where did she go? Like, what happened to her? I'm good. I feel a lot better, and I'm trying my hardest to start YouTube again and make YouTube videos. And I have still been transitioning with my hormones, and I'm about to make another update because it's about to be like a 1.5 years on hormones, which is insane. Sorry, oh my god, I keep pushing the table, but it's insane. Like, it's insane. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to come back and better. I feel so good, so optimistic, and yeah. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.